Hello everyone, welcome to Noble Learners, an online tutoring platform spreading knowledge. Today we are going to discuss a topic of geometry of grade 10th US curriculum. So the students who have taken geometry in their course. So here this is the question. We need to find the distance of a point and the line. There is a line and this line is being represented by this equation, and there is a point at somewhere. This is the point A whose coordinates are given. This is the X and this is your Y. So you need to find the distance between the line which is represented by the given equation Y is equal to 3X, and you need to find the distance between them. So this is the question we need to deal with. Before starting the solution of this question, let us discuss some of the basics. So first of all, you need to understand the equation of a line is given in two forms. First one is the slope intercept form. What is slope intercept form? Whenever we have the slope of a line and whenever we have y-intercept. So y is equal to mx plus c. This is the slope intercept form equation of a line where m is the slope and C is your y-intercept. What is y-intercept? Y-intercept is that particular coordinate at which your x is equal to 0 and y has some value 0 and b. That is your y-intercept. So whenever you have y-intercept and your slope, you can find the equation of a straight line. What is slope? Slope is defined as rise over run. If rise and run is given, you can find out the slope. If the coordinates are given, and if you want to find the slope, then formula is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. This you might have studied in your previous grades, like in grade 7. So these are the basic things. There is also point intercept form of equation. What is point intercept form of equation? The point intercept form of equation is the way of writing an equation of a line when you know the slope and the coordinate through which your line is passing. So when you know the coordinate through which your line is passing, x1 and y1, suppose, and if you know the slope of that line, you can find the equation of that line. That is given by x minus x1 is equal to m into y minus, just a second, sorry. So this is given by y minus y1, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So these are the basic things you need to understand. Some of the more basics you need to understand: when the slopes of two lines is equal to each other, the lines are parallel to each other. When the slope 1 and slope 2, when you are multiplying the slope of two lines and if their product is equal to -1, that means your lines are perpendicular to each other. So these are some basic concepts you need to understand before starting this question. You might be knowing the distance formula as well. How we are finding the distance between two given points. Suppose there is point A whose coordinates are x1 and y1, and suppose there is point B whose coordinates are x2 and y2. Then there is the distance formula. The distance AB we can find by root over x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So that's the formula you need to understand as well. How to solve this question? First of all, step number 1 is you need to find the equation of a line which is perpendicular to the equation of given line. So you must keep one thing in your mind: whenever you are referring to your given equation, you must check that your equation must be in the form of y is equal to mx plus c, so that you could easily find the slope of that line. So here y is equal to 3x plus 0. So now my equation is in y is equal to mx plus c form. Here my slope m is equal to 3. So what would be the slope of such a line which would be perpendicular to my line? So right now I told you, if M1 and M2, if their product is -1, then the lines are perpendicular. So I know my M1 is given. I want to find my M2, and I know if the lines are perpendicular, their product is -1. So here I am going to keep 3, and I want to find M2, my that line which would be perpendicular to my given line. And from here I could find M2 is equal to -1/3. This is done. So now how you will write the equation of a line perpendicular to this line. So you will write y is equal to mx plus c. So y would be equal to my m, my slope is -1/3x plus c. Now you don't know what is your c. So you need to find your c. This is very important. See, try to understand. In order to find your c, what your c would be, you are supposed to keep the coordinates which are given in the question itself. So what is my coordinate which is given in the question? This is the value of x and this is the value of y. So you will put the x, you will put the y, you would be left with one variable. And you know how to solve for linear equation in one variable. So now let us solve this equation. So my equation was y is equal to mx plus c. In this form, my equation was written where y was equal to -1/3 x plus c. When we put coordinate which is given there in our question, the coordinate given is -1 and 7. -1 and 7, that is my coordinate. Let me re-verify. Yeah, that's my coordinate. So I'm going to put y is equal to 7 because here y is 7 and here -1/3, and x is equal to -1. I'm going to put an c is equal to plus c. Like that I'm going to write. Here I'm going to solve for c. So what my c would be? So this -1 and -1 will make +1. So 7 would be equal to 1/3 plus c. Now what I would be doing, I would be subtracting 1/3 here and 1/3 here. The transpose method, right? In America, you people study like that, okay? Though this is not a good method to solve the linear equation, but you all people are taught like that by your teachers. So this is what you are going to solve. So let us solve for this. So when you will solve for this, what you are going to get? So here you are going to multiply this one by 3 so that the denominator will become same. So that is going to be 21/3, right? And there is -1/3 is equal to c. Ultimately, your c is going to be 21 minus 1 will make 20/3. So that is the value of your c. Okay, and what would be your equation? So your equation is going to be, just you are going to put the value of c in this equation. So you are going to put y is equal to -1/3x, and what your c is? Your c is simply plus 20/3. So that's the value of your c. So I hope you understood this point. There is no doubt at all. Now what we are going to do, now we have two equations. We found the equation of a line which is perpendicular to my given line. The equation of my original line was given. What is the equation of my original line? The equation of original line is y is equal to 3x. You can see this. Okay, this is the equation of my original line. Now we have two equation, and now we have two variables. From here I can find the value of x and y very easily. So let us find the value of x and y from these two equations. So my equation which I found right now is equal to y 1/3x plus, I think that was 20/3. Okay, so 20/3 I'm going to write, and other equation is y is equal to 3x. I'm just going to substitute, instead of y I'm just going to substitute 3x, and I'm going to solve this equation. So instead of y I'm going to write 3x, and the whole equation I'm going to copy. So this what the equation would be. Now I'm going to solve this equation. Okay, I hope you know how to solve the equation, because these are the things which you already have studied in your previous classes. So therefore there would not be any doubt in solving these things. Okay, so I'm going to bring this x part this side, this will become positive. See, this is the right way to solve equation by the Indian method, but you people don't know the Indian method there. One lecture I'll make how to solve the linear equation very quickly without using the transposing method, because that is going to help you in long run. So here 3 would be the LCM, and here we are going to write 9x. If you will solve, the same answer you are going to get, plus x you are going to get, and you are going to get 20 upon 3. So here you can cancel these 3 and 3. When this 3 will go this side, so they would be cancelled, denominator same, so that would be cancelled. So here 9x plus x is going to make 10x. 10x is equal to 20. So x would be equal to 20 upon 10. So value of your x is 2. And in putting the value of x in any one of these equation, you can find your y. So this is the simpler equation. So I'm going to put the value of my x in this equation. So y would be equal to 3 times 2. That is the value of my x, and that is my y. So I got another coordinate, another point. And my another point, that is point B, is xy. And what is my x and what is my y, which I found right now? My x is 2 and my y is 6. So this is point number B. One coordinate you already have. This is given in question itself. And that coordinate was A. What that coordinate was? That coordinate was -1 and 7. Now you have two coordinates. Now you need to find the distance between these two coordinates A and B. So we are just going to apply the distance formula and we are going to solve. And that's very easy. So my coordinate number A was -1 and 7. My coordinate number B is 2 and 6. And now let us apply the distance formula in order to find the distance between A and B, and that will be my final solution. So the formula is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So this is your x1, this is your y1, this is your x2, this is your y2, right? You already know these basic things. So now you are just going to solve for this. So x2 minus x1. So x2, what is your x2? x2 is 2. Minus is there in the question itself, in the formula itself, and there is -1 again. So 2 minus -1 will ultimately make +1 there. Okay, so 2 plus 1 whole square plus y2. What is your y2? y2 is 6 and your y1 is 7. So you are going to write 6 minus 7 whole square. So here you are going to write 2 plus 1 will make 3. 3 square will make 9. And here 6 minus 7 will make -1, and -1 square will make +1. You already know whenever there is any negative number, and if our exponent is an even number 2, 4, 6, 8, then answer is always positive. You might be knowing this basic concept, right? So 9 plus 1. So your answer is √10 units. Now you can't solve this further. Okay, so this is your answer. So this was the process. See, the process is pretty easy. There are just 2 or 3 steps you need to know, right? The step number 1 simply is you are just going to find the equation of a line which is perpendicular to this line, right? The equation of your line is given, y is equal to 3x. You are willing to find the equation of a line which is perpendicular to this line. How to find that? You are just going to find the slope of your perpendicular line. You know the process, you know this formula. You are going to find the value of your c by putting this coordinate, right? After finding the equation of your perpendicular line, now you have two equations. Through these two equations, you can solve for x and y. Whatever the value of x and y you are going to get, that would be another coordinate, another point. The one point is given in question, that is a -1 and 7, and the other point you are able to find by this process, whatever I narrated right now. Okay, and after that you are just going to imply the distance formula, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, and finally you are going to get your answer. So process is pretty easy. There is a lot of calculation. If you are good at calculation, if you are clear with your basics, probably this would be very easy to solve. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, if you understood the concept, please give a thumbs up. If you want to join one-to-one online tutoring session with me, with Noble Learners, my platform, you can WhatsApp at +91. This is our country code 9097493120. Have a nice day ahead.